At 22, I had just moved into my first apartment and was hunting for a couch on Craigslist. After finding what looked like a steal, I emailed the seller, whose address read Mexican Poppy 666. Odd, but whatever. A good deal is a good deal. The man responded quickly, insisting on delivering it to my place, but that felt too invasive, so I insisted on picking it up. Reluctantly, he gave me his address. The house stood out like a sore thumb, smaller and shabbier than the others on the block. A man in his 50s wearing a baseball cap greeted me with a wide, unsettling smile. As I stepped in, my unease grew. The couch had scuff marks and tears, nothing like the pristine pictures he had posted. When I pointed it out, he just shrugged, offering to drop the price. When I refused, his smile faded, and he placed a firm hand on my shoulder, offering the couch for free if I gave him something in return. Sickened, I bolted. That night, I thought it was over. Then I heard faint footsteps on my porch. My heart raced as I muted the TV. The doorknob jiggled, peering through the peephole. No one was there. Moments later, the gate to the backyard creaked open. Dialing 911, I shouted that the police were on their way. The intruder fled. But when the police arrived, they found no one. Just a sticky note pinned to my gate. Scrawled in red ink, it read, "You can't run forever. I have what I need." Checking the email I used to contact him, I realized I'd sent it through my work account, which was linked to my full name. He didn't need to follow me. He already knew everything. I found a used Toyota Camry for sale on Craigslist. A 2003 model with only 67,000 miles for $3,500. The seller, Bob, sounded friendly over the phone and lived just 10 miles away. Excited, I arrived early at his property. But things immediately felt off. The garage held countless car parts, but no Toyota. I knocked for several minutes without an answer. Calling his number, I heard a phone ringing inside the house. Strange. Peering through a window, I saw an eerie scene. An old dining table and a man standing completely still by the back door. Thinking it was Bob, I knocked on the window. No response. Against my better judgment, I walked around to the backyard. Reaching the back door, I froze. The man I had seen through the window was a taxidermied human being. Heart pounding, I bolted back to my car. But as I reversed down the dirt driveway, I noticed something in the rearview mirror. The same man, or what looked like him, was standing on the porch now, watching me leave. I sped home but couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Days later, my son's birthday rolled around and we celebrated with family. As the night wound down, I stepped outside to get some fresh air. That's when I saw it. Parked across the street was a rusted Toyota Camry with a lifeless Bob slumped over the steering wheel. And behind him, a figure with familiar, lifeless eyes, taxidermied eyes, staring straight at me. A year ago, I found a Craigslist ad for an iPhone 5 in mint condition for $200. Too good to pass up, I agreed to meet the seller at a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. My younger brother tagged along for safety. When we arrived, two large men stepped out of a black Honda Civic. They handed me the phone and my brother tested it out. It worked, but when I handed over $200, the seller demanded $250. I stuck to my story of only bringing $200. Grudgingly, they accepted and drove off. We didn't think much of it until we noticed the Civic tailing us on the drive home. My brother suggested pulling over, but something told me that was a terrible idea. I sped up, trying to lose them, and eventually managed to shake them at a red light by running it. We breathed a sigh of relief as we pulled into our driveway. Later that night, I was setting up the phone when I heard 2 car doors slam outside. I peeked through the blinds. The Civic was parked across the street. My stomach dropped as I saw the men exit the car and walk toward our house. Frantic, I woke my dad. He grabbed a baseball bat and positioned himself near the door. A loud knock came. One of the men shouted that they had a gun and would shoot if we didn't open up. My dad yelled for me to call Joe, our neighbor, and a police officer. As I dialed, the sound of a gunshot rang out. A bullet hole appeared in the door, inches from my dad's head. Joe arrived in minutes, gun drawn, and arrested the men. Shaken but relieved, we thought it was over, until I noticed something about the iPhone. When I reset it, it displayed a message on the lock screen. This phone belongs to Adakunal 999.